They say the night the Ozarks learned to hum, the fog rolled off Bull Shoals Lake like a living thing, thick and heavy. Deep in the backwoods, where the pines leaned close and whispered secrets, and the cicadas kept a steady, buzzing time, a sound fell straight from the sky. It was clean, impossible, almost mathematical. Between the stars and the treetops, a silver craft unfolded itself, silent as a held breath. And from it stepped Zero Antarctica, a space alien virtuoso. His skin shimmered like frostbitten vinyl, and his fingers could bend gravity the way a musician bends strings. His instrument wasn't a guitar or a synth, but something far older, a resonance engine that translated pure thought directly into melody. He'd heard a rumor, you see, that Earth still believed music was only made of sound. He came to show us something different. At that very moment, from a busted shack near the lake, a rusted radio crackled to life. A voice, warped and echoing like it had to travel through dirt to reach you, came through the static. You're tuned to WBULL, broadcasting live from the other side of the veil. The Bull Shoals boogeyman was back on the air. He'd died tangled in antenna wire decades ago, but death hadn't dulled his taste for good tunes. Now, he spun ghost frequencies, phantom beats leaking out of forgotten AM bands. Every knob he turned seemed to open a thin place between worlds. And tonight, he felt something new in the static, something decidedly off-world. Down the gravel road, drawn by the phantom broadcast, came a man with a beat-up acoustic guitar slung over his shoulder. His boots were dusty, his beard was wild, but his eyes were sharp. Folks called him the hillbilly guitar dude, but he was a true troubadour, a collector of stories, a singer of things that didn't want to be remembered. He'd been following the radio's voice for miles, every chord it played tugging at his ribs like a fish on a line. The three of them met in a clearing right by the lake, the alien, the ghost, and the troubadour. Zero Antarctica struck the first note, a sound like starlight hitting still water. Instantly, the boogeyman layered it with a bass line made of whispers and old moonshine regrets, broadcasting it straight from the spirit world. Then, the troubadour answered. He hit his steel strings and let out gravel-throated verses about floods, lost towns, and people who vanished but never truly left. The woods leaned in to listen. Time itself seemed to slip sideways. The lake reflected constellations that weren't in any sky humans knew. Ghosts, drawn from their slumber, danced barefoot in the fallen leaves. Even the satellites passing overhead paused their orbits, listening in. For one impossible hour, Bull Shoals, Arkansas became the absolute center of the universe. When the song finally ended, the silence was deafening. The alien folded back into the stars, his ship vanishing without a trace. The radio hissed into static, its phantom signal gone. And the troubadour? He just walked on, carrying that impossible story in his bones, ready to be sung another day. But here's the thing about a song like that. It didn't really end. It sank into the hills, into the water, into the very soul of the Ozarks. And sometimes, late at night, if you tune your radio dial just right, and the fog is thick enough, you can still hear it. A broadcast from nowhere. A song meant for everything. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow for more stories from the strange corners of the world.